Alright, yeah, so here's another welding project I got going on. The table is still a mess. So this is the now second project that I've used this HTP on. I still don't have a home for it. This is actually the same day as the trailer video. So I got the machine just chilling here. I'm not the best TIG welder in the world. I did go ahead and practice a little bit on these pieces before I went and attempted this project. So what this is some guy has a fancy car, I guess, some old Firebird or something, and he needs a radiator shroud. The radiator would sit kind of where my table is, and then where all the tape is, inside of there is going to be the fan. And what I need to do is I need to weld this aluminum ring to the aluminum radiator shroud thing that this guy bought. And unlike most of the stuff that I do, this guy wants the welds to look fairly decent. I mean, they don't have to be super duper perfect, but he does want them pretty nice looking. So I've taken the time to practice here a little bit, and I guess what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna tack weld a spot right here, then move over to this side, clamp that side up and tack weld that. And then I've got to get, hold on. Alright, so back to what I was saying. After I get those two spots tack welded, this right here needs to be a flush butt joint. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the tape. After I get the second tack weld here, I'll be able to move this, get that in place, tack weld that, and then this area and that area will sit more where I need them to be. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead, get this thing fired up here. We got our HTP set up. We're at 72 amps. When the pedal is smashed all the way to the ground. I think our frequency is around like 200 hertz AC. I have a 1/16 inch tungsten, 1.5 lanthanated, and then I'm going to be using a 1/8 inch filler rod. Yeah, so like I said, this guy wants the welds to look fairly decent. I'm kind of rushing right now, so I'm not trying to weld the whole thing out today. I'm going to go ahead and tack weld it though. That way I can come back at this another day when I'm more calm and I have a lot more control over my hands. But I have enough control to get it tack welded, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so I already went ahead and got this thing wire brushed right here. So I'm going to go ahead and position this. So that way I can get some tacks on there. And yeah. I'm going to go ahead and move my ground clamp onto the aluminum itself. That way I get better ground. I don't have a fancy camera set up, so you guys cannot see. I'm not getting any quality arc shots of this, but you guys can kind of see what I'm doing, I guess. Alright, there's our second tack. Alright, so that one's on there. This whole thing is tacked together. So now I'm going to put everything away. I'm going to get all the tape off of here. But now it's not going to move anywhere. So I can kind of move it around if I need to for the next couple days until I'm ready to actually attack this thing and get it done. Alright, so we're back a few days later. It's a few days later. I'm going to get some more of this thing welded out here. I'm just trying to go get this thing done right as opposed to get it done fast. So I'm a lot calmer right now than I was. So I'm going to go from here to that tack weld, give it time to cool, and then go from this tack weld to about here. I have my tungsten set, so I can pretty much just drag the cup. So I was getting a little bit of a crater at the end, trying to practice backing off of it to not get that crater. Ooh, that one was actually pretty nice. So I'm going to let that cool down for a couple minutes. And I'm going to move over here, get a little bit on this side. Just keep working it around. Screwed up just a little bit there. That's going to be at the bottom of the car. If I have to, I'll grind that out. It might be okay for now. I'm just kind of making a bunch of little, like 1 inch, 2 inch long welds. That way, it gives this thing time to cool down. It won't overheat the part. And then I can adjust my hands as I go. Alright, I went and sharpened my tungsten. Should be able to keep a tighter arc. And that also allowed the puddle a little bit of time to cool. Alright, we're down to the last like 2-3 inches of this. So it's going to get pretty warm. I gave it a little bit of time to cool down. I had to switch out my filler rod. I just sharpened the tungsten. Trying to get it back in the hole here. There we go. Oops. So yeah, now it's going to get really warm here. I'm going to try my best not to mess this up. So this is the part that'll be visible when you're actually looking into the car. Well, that's not like 100% perfect. There's definitely better welders out there than me, but I think that should do. Now I gotta get that butt joint closed up and then put them little pieces in here and here. So I might do that off camera. It's gonna take me a little bit. Alright, so this thing's now complete. It took a lot longer than I thought it would, but I'm also not the greatest aluminum welder out there. I'm sure somebody, you know, like Justin from the fabrication series, or that guy from Pacific Arc Tig Welding, you know, they could probably have this done in maybe an hour or so. Me, on the other hand, I barely know what I'm doing. Like I do. This is also the first Aluminum Tig project I have ever completed. I've done some TIG repairs before. I've done some aluminum repairs before. I've done some aluminum MIG projects. But this is the first time I've done a complete project, especially a fabrication like this with an aluminum TIG welder. I did mess up a little bit right there. I'm not sure if that's gonna be okay for this customer or not. I may have to grind that down and repair that weld right there. I gotta call him up and see have him come out and check it up. I also had a rough restart here and here. Some of the restarts are a little rough, but those were the worst ones. But this thing is going to sit in the car like so. So those might not be noticeable. Up there, like I said, it's not 100% perfect, but it's pretty decent comparatively, I think, to most of what I do. I may have to sand this down a little bit right here. I just noticed that. I tried to go around and grind the weld off the outside here, but then I started to notice it was kind of, you could see the separation line, so I put a weld back on it, and then just kind of knocked down the high spots. So I don't know, I'm hoping that's good enough. This guy said he's gonna polish it or whatever, so my little grind marks there should disappear when he polishes it. I did the same thing around here. I put a weld all the way around and ground down the high spots on the outer edge of this thing. Whoever put these welds on is honestly a way better TIG welder than I am. I wish I could have got the whole thing to look like this right here. But this guy probably has 20 years experience TIG welding. I have 15 years experience welding. But like I said, this is the first project I have ever completed with a TIG welder. So that is a big accomplishment for me. When I got inside of here, there was an outside corner joint with not the best fit up. I messed up right there in the center. I let it get too hot, but it should be okay for what it is. Nobody's really gonna see that spot anyway. The fan's gonna be here, the radiator's gonna be here. You know, it is what it is. This spot here is probably my best weld. Unfortunately, it's gonna be the hardest spot in the car to see, but it should work. And then there's my butt joint, all ground down. That way you can't really see that. I don't know. I tried to grind that down a little bit. I don't know. That's the backside penetration. I don't know if I should just put a weld over top of that, just real lightly or not. I don't know. So I'm gonna call this guy, see what he thinks about this, then go from there. I don't know, he may want me to weld all the way around here, may not, I don't really know, but we'll see. So, if you like that, give this video a thumbs up. I think I'm going to make a video here soon. Somebody asked me how to price out jobs like this. So I have some repairs I gotta do for myself. I'll probably go ahead and make a video how I would price that out if it were a customer project. So yeah, if you're interested in that, stay tuned, subscribe to the channel or whatever. Don't make fun of me too much on this one. Like I said, it's the very first project I did with the TIG welder. Oh, I forgot I also welded up in there. You can see where I had a rough restart there, but it should be okay.